Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Malescu and I am the owner of Malescu law firm based in Miami, Florida, specializing in business, corporate and US immigration. We can assist you with all your immigration needs regardless of where you are currently located or where you plan to go in the United States. Today we are going to speak about, can I self-sponsor a green card? And the answer is yes, you can self-sponsor a green card in certain circumstances. But before we get started, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the bell button or the subscribe button. Many people associate green card applications and applying for a green card in the United States with a sponsor, such as a US employer that will be sponsoring you or a family member that will be sponsoring you. However, it is possible in certain circumstances that you self-sponsor your green card, meaning that you petition for a green card on your own without the need of a US employer sponsor or a family member sponsor. Now, this is true in certain circumstances, and especially it is a viable option to self-sponsor a green card for those of you who have extraordinary achievements and skills or investments in the United States that benefit the US economy. And now we are going to speak more about the key self-sponsored green card options. The key self-sponsor green card categories are 1. EB-1A for extraordinary ability. This green card category, where you can self-petition for an EB-1A green card category, is available to those of you who have extraordinary abilities in the arts, sciences, education, athletics, or business. You will need to prove to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services that you meet the USCIS criteria as it is listed on their website. Usually you will need to be recognized nationally or internationally and have awards and publications and be reviewed by industry peers. In order to satisfy the criteria for the EB-1A, you must meet at least 3 of the 10 criteria published on USCIS website, or you must have a one-time achievement of a major internationally recognized award, such as an Olympic medal, a Pulitzer Prize, an Oscar, and so on and so forth. A second self-sponsored green card category is the EB-2 National Interest Waiver. So you can apply for the EB-2 National Interest Waiver, also abbreviated EB-2 NIW, on your own without a US employer sponsoring you. In order to qualify for the EB-2 National Interest Waiver, you must show that you possess an advanced degree or exceptional ability in the arts, sciences, or business. Now, in order to prove advanced degree, you must show that you have at least a master's degree or a bachelor's degree plus 5 years of progressive experience. If you cannot satisfy this requirement for advanced degree, then you need to see if you can prove exceptional ability in the arts, sciences, or business. Now, in order to prove exceptional ability, you must show that you can meet at least 3 out of the 6 criteria listed on the United States Citizenship and Immigration website for the EB2 National Interest Waiver category, or the EB2 category as well, under the exceptional ability. Once you show that you satisfy either the advanced degree or exceptional ability, then you must show the US government that you have a proposed endeavor in the United States that has substantial merit and national importance. And the national importance does not necessarily have to cover the entire United States, and it can also be an economic impact. And after that, you need to be able to show that you are well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor in the United States, and it is beneficial to the United States to waive the PERM labor certification requirement. And finally, the third self-sponsored green card category is the EB5 Immigrant Investor Program. So you can self-sponsor your green card without an employer sponsoring you, a US employer sponsoring you, by investing a substantial amount of capital in a US business, and specifically in order to qualify for the EB5 Immigrant Investor Program, you must invest $1,050,000 in a US business that is located in a low unemployment or urban area, or $800,000 in a US business that is located in a high unemployment or rural area. Now, the business you invest in must create at least 10 full-time jobs, and the jobs do not need to be created at the time you invest and apply for the EB5 Immigrant Investor Program. Also, keep in mind you can make the investment directly in a US business that you direct and manage, or through a USCIS approved regional center, where your money is pooled with the money of other investors in a project that is developed by another company. So you are in that case a passive investor. You will not be participating and doing the day-to-day work in order to have the project be successful. So with the regional center, you get to be a passive investor while still qualifying for the EB5 Immigrant Investor Program. And with a direct EB5 investment, then you have to be an active manager of the US business and create the 10 full-time jobs through your US business. Now, it is possible to be in the United States and invest while having an E2 investor visa or an L1 visa, and then use that investment later on to qualify for the EB5 Immigrant Investor Program. You may also be able to qualify for other green cards while you have invested through an E2 investor visa or an L1 visa as a non-immigrant, such as the EB2 National Interest Waiver or an EB1C, but that really depends on your circumstances. Those are not purely based investment green cards. Now, regarding the process to self-sponsor a green card, so the process to self-sponsor a green card is complex and time-consuming and varies based on the green card category you apply under. But in general, there are a couple of steps or considerations you should keep in mind. First, you need to determine what's the best green card category for your specific circumstance that you can self-sponsor. Second, once you determine the best self-sponsor green card category, you need to collect all the evidence that you need in order to prove your case. Then third, you'll need to submit all the paperwork, including the required forms, either Form I-140 or Form I-526 or I-526E, with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, and these forms depend on the visa category, the green card category you are applying under, in order to self-sponsor your green card. Certain forms have premium processing available, so Form I-140, which you would file if you file under the EB-1A or the EB-2 National Interest Waiver. You have premium processing available there at the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, and for an additional fee you can have a decision within 45 business days. Now, with the forms required for the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program, such as the I-526 or I-526E, you do not have premium processing available there, so you will need to do the regular processing and wait for the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services to adjudicate the case. For after USCIS adjudicates the forms with the supporting documents, now you have a priority date, and then the availability of an immigrant visa or a green card for you depends on your priority date and the visa bulletin. And certain self-sponsor green card categories are backlogged, so you will need to wait your priority date to become current under the visa bulletin before you can proceed with an adjustment of status application if you are currently in the United States in status, or with an immigrant visa through consular processing if you are outside of the United States. Currently, the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program is current, so it is not backlogged, and also the green card categories in the EB-1 category group, so the EB-1A, typically are current and are not backlogged. However, the EB-2 National Interest Waiver category is typically backlogged, and you will need to wait for the visa bulletin to become current for your priority date in order to be able to actually file either for adjustment if you are in the United States, or consular processing if you are outside of the United States, in order to obtain your green card. This is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and if you need to get in touch with us, you have our contact information in this video and below this video. We will see you soon. Bye.